Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video today. What we're going to do is we're going to run really quick through all of our NFL games. This is just going to be a quick preview and prediction for every NFL game for week 3 of the 2024 season. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments about these games or anything else, drop them below and I will always make sure to respond. We're going over every game every week for both the NFL and college football seasons. We also do best bets videos where we look at the spreads, money lines, and the over-unders. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you can follow along with us. Tonight we have our Thursday, September 19th game at 8:15 on Prime. The 1-1 New England Patriots, they'll be playing the 1-1 New York Jets. This is going to be a really fun game. Obviously, the Patriots had that big win week 1. They lost last week, but it was, closer. With the Jets, they lost to the 49ers, but they got their first win in the Aaron Rodgers era last week. That was a massive thing to see because it's been a really long time since we've seen Rodgers play football. He got hurt last year, first game, first possession, did not play much of the preseason. Looked a little rusty week 1, looked a little better week 2. Look for him. He's a veteran. He's experienced. He's going to get better every single week going forward. They're going to get a little more set in the passing game. They have Breece Hall at running back. Look for a steady dose of the running game for the Patriots. They've been kind of shuffling with Jacoby Brissett and Drake May, kind of flip-flopping back and forth with the quarterbacks. Stevenson has been running the ball well. Jets have a 66.5% chance to win this game. Jets have a top 10 defense. Look for Rodgers to make the throws when he has to win this one. I have the Jets winning at 20-13. The next game we're moving on to our Sunday games at 1 p.m. on Fox, the 0-2 New York Giants versus the 1-1 Cleveland Browns. The Giants, they're winless. Can we end the Daniel Jones era? It's a Band-Aid, rip it off. The guy's an awful quarterback, should have never gotten that massive contract. At least if you're a Giants fan, you know you're not going to have a very good season, but you're going to get a really good draft pick. Hopefully you can draft one of the star quarterbacks coming out of college, and that can set you up going forward. One thing you have as a security blanket is Neighbors. Looks like a legit wide receiver number 1 going forward. So you have a star wideout, a star in the making. We just have to get the quarterback situation right. For the Browns, they lost week 1. Week 2, they beat the Jags in Jacksonville, but you have all the off-the-field drama going on with Deshaun Watson. The Browns here have a 64.7% chance to win this game. They are 6.5 point favorites here, but the Browns have a top 10 defense. They have Deshaun Watson. They have a loaded running game. That's going to make the difference. They can run the ball. They can run the ball downhill. They have Myles Garrett. He's going to get a lot of pressure, sacks on Daniel Jones. I have the Browns winning this one 24-13. Our next game also at 1 p.m. on Fox, the 1-1 Green Bay Packers versus the 0-2 Tennessee Titans. The Packers on the road here, they have a 51% chance to win this game, but the Titans are the favorite according to Vegas. With the Packers, obviously Jordan Love's out 4 to 6 weeks. You have Malik Willis as the quarterback filling in. He's not known for his passing ability, but boy, can he run the ball. So look for the Packers to try to keep this game on the ground and pound. Running the ball sucks up clock, keeps the ball out of the Titans' hands. They're going to run on almost every single possession. Every now and then they'll throw in some play action. And then you have the Titans. Will Levis basically cost the Titans the game last week. Titans defense hasn't been playing great. They haven't been playing awful. They did enough to win last week, but Will Levis was the issue. He has to play better. Tennessee's going to counter the Packers running game with their own running game. They're going to run it with Levis. They're going to run it with Pollard. They have some playmakers there. They're not a bad team, but they're not necessarily led the best. But I'm going to go with Tennessee being able to take advantage of the Packers being down Jordan Love. If Jordan Love plays, Packers win. Obviously, he's not playing. I'm going with Tennessee to win this one 17-16. Our next game at 1 p.m. on CBS, the 1-1 Chicago Bears versus the 0-2 Indianapolis Colts. The Colts here have a 52.7% chance to win this game. For the Bears, they need to get the offense right. They do not have a bad defense. Caleb Williams looked awful in week 1, did not look as bad in week 2. He was completing some passes, but his biggest problem is he's getting hit, he's getting sacked, he's getting pressured, he's always on the run, and when he's forced to make throws, this isn't college. You have to have your throws accurately on the dime. He's not able to do that so far, but it's only week 2, and he's being pressured a lot. Give the guy a break. He did show improvement from week 1 to 2. He's probably going to show more from week 2 to week 3. But he has a pretty decent run game. So you have Swift there. You have Moore. He has weapons. The line has to hold up. They have a stout defense. For the Colts, Richardson is a little banged up. This is a team that's going to look to also run the ball. You have Richardson. You have Jonathan Taylor. You have Pierce there catching the ball. They have weapons also. Defense hasn't played up. They're winless. They have a solid chance to win this game at home if they can get some turnovers from Caleb Williams. But I'm going to go with the Bears offense clicking a little more. They're getting better week to week, and them taking this one 24-17. The next game we're looking at 1 p.m. on CBS, the 2-0 Houston Texans. They are on the road. CBS 1 p.m. versus the 2-0 Minnesota Vikings, one of our surprise teams of the season so far. Everything's set up for this to be a really good game and also a potential shootout game. When you look at the Texans, they have 2 solid wins. They have one of the best quarterback, running back, wide receiver combos in the country. They're led by C.J. Stroud. He's having a great season so far. Basically picked up right where he left off last year. Defense is playing solid. Looking at Minnesota, so they lose J.J. McCarthy and they start Sam Darnold, and he's having a really good season. He's having comeback player of the year type season so far. It's only 2 games in, but he's slinging the ball, and they have Justin Jefferson. He has a legitimate top 3, top 2 best wide receiver in the NFL right now. Big body target, and he's making perfect throws to him. They're playing a really good defense, only giving up 11.5 points per game. This game's going to be close, really close. Texans are a slight favorite here on the road. They have a 54.2% chance to win this one. I'm going to go with the Texans winning this one 24-21. If the Vikings continue their hot streak and win it, though, I would not be surprised. The next matchup's really setting up to be one of the best ones this weekend at 1 p.m. on Fox. The 1-1 Philadelphia Eagles. They'll be on the road versus the 2-0 New Orleans Saints. The Saints, slight edge here, 50.9% chance to win this game. The reason they're a slight edge is because the Eagles are just getting gashed up and down the field, and Jalen Hurts is turning the ball over 1 or 2 times every single game. He's playing sloppy, awful this season, but he still can run it. He can still sling it. They have an extremely loaded, talented offense. They have Jalen Hurts. They have Saquon Barkley. They have Smith. They have Brown. Brown's out this game, but still, even without him, you're loaded at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line. But they got to get that defense right. They got to get some stops. New Orleans has come out of nowhere. They're just lighting things up on offense. They're averaging 45.5 points a game. They're scoring on everyone. They're only giving up 14.5. Carr's having an MVP season. They have Kamara, who looks extremely young right now. They have Shaheed. They have Olave. They have weapons. I have the Saints winning this one 28-24. I think this is a game that could go either way because both teams can score, but I'm going to go with the home team. Then next game at 1 p.m. on CBS, the 2-0 LA Chargers versus the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Both teams undefeated. Chargers on the road, a 51.4% chance to win this game. This is a fun one here. So you have Harbaugh versus Tomlin. Both teams are going to play sound defense. Chargers giving up 6.5 points a game. Pittsburgh giving up 8 points a game. Defense travels. This is going to be a fun game. Harbaugh is going to play Harbaugh football, run the ball, play good special teams, kick, play sound defense. Herbert's not having to do that much this year. They're only throwing the ball for 135 per game, but if he has to, he can throw. And you have J.K. Dobbins. They're just going to run the ball nonstop, and on third downs, hit the passes with Herbert. Pittsburgh, they're having good quarterback play. Obviously, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. No matter who starts this game, to me, Russell Wilson gives you the higher ceiling due to his youth. They play really good defense, especially with T.J. Watt. They have playmakers. This game's going to be close either way, but I'm going to go with the Chargers to continue their hot start, win this one 21-17. But these teams are so similar, it could go either way. And just to kind of fill in with the Packers, they're saying Love might start this week, so that might be a complete game changer. If he does, is he fully healthy? If he plays, though, that obviously probably changes the outcome to that game. But our next game at 1 p.m. on Fox, we have the 0-2 Denver Broncos versus the 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Broncos starting out as bad as anyone could. They're only averaging 13 points a game. Bo Nix having a sloppy season so far, but he is a rookie. He's only 2 games in. He showed improvement 1-2, but they've both been bad. He's throwing a lot of picks. You have Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, great start. Baker Mayfield. They have Irving. They have Evans. They have Godwin. They have a really good defensive line. They can shut the run down. And Bowles, with the defense, is obviously sound. It's tough. They're going to shut the run game of Denver down, which isn't that good to begin with. They're going to force the game on the Bo Nix's shoulders, but Bo Nix is bound to have a good game at some point. So this could be it, but the Buccaneers have a 69% chance to win this game, and I'm going to have them winning it 28-16. The next one we're looking at 4:05 p.m. on CBS, the 0-2 Carolina Panthers visiting the 1-1 Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders have a 62.3% chance to win this game. The Panthers last year were the worst team in the NFL. This year, they're the worst team in the NFL. Again, they don't look any better. Bryce Young has been benched. Make of that what you will. They will be going with Andy Dalton. They have Hubbard at running back. They have Thielen, and they have a horrible offensive line. They have an awful defense, giving up 36.5 points a game. They need a lot of pieces. They need to recruit a lot of players through the draft. They have a lot of work cut out for them. For the Raiders, obviously, you have Gardner Minshew there at quarterback, having a great season so far. He has 533 yards. You have a decent run game. You had Devontae Adams as your number one wide receiver. They're averaging 18 a game, but they're going to score points on this Panthers defense, and they have a solid defense as well. They get a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Dalton's a veteran. He's going to be pressured the whole game, but he technically should play better than Young did, but I'm still going to go with the Raiders winning this one 23-17. Our next game at 4:05 p.m. on CBS, the 1-1 Miami Dolphins visiting the 2-0 Seattle Seahawks. Seattle at home, 66.9% chance to win this game. If the Dolphins were fully healthy, if they had Tua, I would be picking them to win this game on the road. They do not have Tua Thompson. He's not a very good quarterback. He can't throw the ball. He's only a mobile quarterback. Miami's going to seek to run the ball as much as possible. Loaded offense still. Hill, Waddle, Berrios, Achin, Mostert. But there's no quarterback right now. That's a massive loss for such a talented offensive team. And then you have Seattle, Geno Smith. If Walker plays, they're just going to run it down Miami's throat. They have DK Metcalf. They have a decent to average defense. Their offense is going to do just enough, obviously, to outscore Thompson and the Dolphins. I have Seattle winning this one at home, 22-13. Our next matchup, both teams are feeling the heat. They both need to get wins. At 4:25 p.m. on Fox, the 0-2 Baltimore Ravens versus the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys. Ravens in Jerry World, a 53.6% chance to win this game. It's really hard to beat that Cowboys at home in Jerry World, but obviously this season has shown that it is possible. The Ravens are 0-2. Who would have thought it? This team has Super Bowl aspirations, one of the top 5 rosters in the country. They have a top 5 defense. They have a top 5 offense, technically. You have Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. You have Derrick Henry. You have Andrews, Likely, Flowers. They have weapons at every single position. They just got to get everything on the same page. They've lost their last 2 games by inches. They're that close to being undefeated right now. They have to beat the Cowboys. They don't want to drop to 0-3. And Dallas, you don't want to drop to 1-2, or you can imagine the media hysteria and pressure on McCarthy and Dak. Both teams good. Dallas has as good of an offense, as good of a defense. Very talented defense. Parsons has to play better in these big games. They're giving up 30.5 points a game. That's unacceptable for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Ravens winning this one in Jerry World, 28-21. Our next one at 4:25 p.m. on Fox, the 1-1 San Francisco 49ers versus the 0-2 LA Rams. 49ers a 63.9% chance to win this game. They're down a lot of players. They're down McCaffrey. They're down Debo. A lot of guys aren't going to be playing this game, but still they have one of the best rosters in the NFL. They have Purdy, who has to play better on the big stages. They have Ayuk. They have Kittle. They will still be able to run the ball. They will still be able to throw the ball. Mason is filled in perfectly at the running back position. Kittle's a veteran. You can go to him. You have Ayuk, who has been playing better since the off-the-field stuff. With the Rams, they're completely depleted. You have Stafford there. You have Williams. You have no Nakua. You have no Cooper Kupp. Even with Stafford, as good as he is in these passing situations, the Rams' defense is not good. 49ers is a top 5 defense. And the Rams' weapons are all gone. Stafford can only do so much. I have the 49ers winning this one 24-16. The next game at 4:25 p.m. on Fox, the 1-1 Detroit Lions versus the 1-1 Arizona Cardinals. The Lions a slight favorite, 49.9% chance to win this game. This game is basically a 50-50. It could go either way. Lions, top 10 offense, top 10 defense. They had that sloppy loss last week. Goff has to play better, but they have a loaded team. They can run the ball. They have Montgomery, Gibbs, Brown's out, but they still have a lot of weapons, and they have a defense that they can rely on. The Cardinals can score a lot of points, but they have no pass rush. Their defense is Swiss cheese, so there will be opportunities for the Lions to score, but the Cardinals have skill position players. You have Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray have a great season so far. You have James Conner running the ball well, catching the ball out the backfield. I'm going to go with the Lions to get a couple things right in a shootout, winning it 30-27. But this game's a shootout. It could come down to whoever has the ball final possession. The next game, final game on Sunday at 8:20 p.m. on NBC, the 2-0 Chiefs. They've beaten some good teams so far this season. They've beaten the Ravens, the Bengals. They'll be on the road versus the 1-1 Atlanta Falcons, who had that massive comeback win last week. Props to them. Kirk Cousins looks comfortable in this scheme. Chiefs, the defending champs, they have a 58.2% chance to win this game. Obviously, Chiefs have a great offense. They haven't had to do much this season because their defense is so great. They have a top 3 defense. You have Patrick Mahomes, you have Kelsey, Pacheco's hurt, but you have Rice, Worthy, lots of weapons. And then Atlanta, one of the best rosters. You have Kirk Cousins, who looks more comfortable game by game. He's going to be even more comfortable this game, but it's a great defense they're playing. They have Bijan Robinson, Algier, London, Pitts, lots of weapons, sound defense. This game could also go either way. I'm going to go with another close one, but Chiefs winning it 24-23. Our next game, we're moving on to Monday at 7:30 on ESPN. The 0-2 Jacksonville Jaguars are still looking for that first win versus the 2-0 Buffalo Bills. The Bills have a 66% chance to win this game. The Bills lost a lot of pieces from last year. Diggs, a lot of players on the defensive side due to cap issues, and it looks like they got better so far through the first 2 weeks. Jags kind of look like a disaster. The line's not looking good. Trevor Lawrence looks rushed in the pocket. He's not making good sound decisions. The running game with Etienne's basically non-existent. Kirk's there, but they don't really have a true wide receiver number one. They have lots of holes, but they need to win this game. They cannot fall to 0-3 in the easy division they're in. Buffalo, they have everything in front of them. You have Goff. You have Josh Allen having a great season so far. It seems like the game's not on his shoulders right now, so he's able to play a little more relaxed. You have Cook. You have Keon Coleman. They have weapons at wide receiver without Diggs. They did draft well. The defense is playing hard. They're getting after it. You have Joe Brady calling really good plays so far. I'm going to go with the Bills to win this one in a one-possession win, 24-17. And our final matchup on ABC at 8:15, the 1-1 Washington Commanders versus the 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals 63.9% chance to win this game. Bengals had that awful Week 1 game. Should have won it. They should be at least 1-1 right now. Last week, they took the Chiefs to the wire, almost won that game. They showed some life last week. That's good. That's a good thing for this game. Joe Burrow, Chase, they can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They have skill position players. They have a decent defense. They have a much improved offensive line. Washington, Daniels having a great season so far. He finally took the running a little bit back in Week 2. They don't need him running for 100 yards every single game or the guy's going to get hurt. They have to continue to generate a ground game, but Brian Robinson Jr. having a great season. You have Daniels at quarterback. You have weapons. The offensive line's not good. The defense is giving up 27.5 points a game. That's going to go in the Bengals' favor. I have the Bengals finally getting their first win here, 30-20. So that's just a quick breakdown of our NFL Week 3 games. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments about any of these games, make sure to put them below, and I will respond. Thanks.